I'm 6 feet underground, but I'm breathing heavy.
It's Friday, M5's clean again. Wasn't too bad since it's been garaged. I finally put on some tire shine. Haven't done that since before we went to Boston back in September, I think. By the time I noticed it, it's like, oh, the tires aren't black anymore, they're brown. And then I dress them and then they look really nice again. So that's done. Then I've been working kind of off and on all day, the parts list for the next conversion. And it's fairly thorough. It's in there. I don't know why I came over here. I guess I forgot I put the laptop away. Got about 100 parts in there so far. Like over here, I'm not going to replace a bracket because it's got some corrosion on it from some salt back east. We will clean it up. But I don't think that justifies replacement costs. We'll replace the transmission rubber mounts as well as the top and bottom nuts. We're going to do the, the cup. So like the white part in there will get replaced. And then we're going to do this joint and the circlip and the dowel pin and the rubber seal inside the selector rod shaft. I'm not going to do the pins. I'm not going to do the shifter carrier, and I'm not going to do the selector rod here. I just don't think it's necessary. And this is already a 545 shifter, seeing that it came out of a 545. It's the 373 part number. I don't know why somebody punched that hole out, but whatever. So we're not going to do the shifter. We are going to do this soft line because it's rubber. We are going to do this curly Q line because it is corroded. We are going to do the slave cylinder because it's corroded. We're going to do the bracket because it's bent, and the gas and the rubber thing because it's cheap. Then in here, I'm not going to do the fork because it's metal. You're not going to wear that out. Obviously, we're going to have a new throw-out bearing with the new clutch kit, which comes with the flywheel, which is really weird, I think. You get a clutch, a pressure plate, a flywheel, a throw-out bearing, a pilot bearing, all in one kit. I am going to put a new spring on this side, and then behind here is that little dowel thing. It's plastic. That's ridiculous. We're going to tap that out. We'll put the brass one in. That gasket's going to stay. This stays. This hard line stays just because it's pretty expensive and we already have a nice one here, so I replace it, and that's what's happening over here. When we look at the diff, I haven't gotten to the diff and axles yet. That's going to suck to have to figure out how to replace, and it probably means diff bushings at the same time, which I'm dreading. Axles should probably be repacked and get fresh boots. I don't know if I can do that here or if that's going to have to go out of house. I hope I don't have to change the entire carrier and stuff like that, but if we're doing axles, that's miserable with gear pullers. As far as the pedals go, I need a spring here. That's what's going to keep the pedal up. But we get the pedal, we get the clutch slave cylinder, or the clutch master cylinder, we get kind of everything we need here. I think this hose is going to be long enough. It doesn't look like they cut it. They just took it off the nipple on the reservoir. If we need a new hose, that's like a day away and it's pretty cheap. We're going to do the CV joint, the shims, and the hardware. We're going to do the CSB and hardware and shim. And then we're going to do a flex disc and nuts and bolts where it will mate to the transmission. So it's going to be pretty thorough. This is the clutch kit that this kit came with. Used. I would never recommend using a used clutch, even though this one, it's got some life in it. But why reuse a clutch? That's just like reusing brake pads. And the flywheel is ugly, so we're definitely going to be doing a flywheel. We'll do everything though. We'll get the 6 torque to yield bolts here will be new, and all of this is just going to go in a trash can.